What's up, guys? We got Alessandro in the chair today. I'm not too sure if we've done this before, but we're gonna have fun with this one. I'm gonna do a burst fade, but while keeping it somewhat curly on top. That's never been done, and we're gonna test it out, but I genuinely feel like this is gonna be a really good haircut. Plus, it's gonna be quite suitable given the fact that we have some length to play with. So first step is really just breaking down the graduation on the sides. I do find it to be quite puffy throughout the sides and throughout the back. Let me just show you guys quickly. So the goal here is to really have this graduation sit a lot tighter, but while maintaining some of the mullet. We're gonna need to preserve that because when it comes to the burst, that's the area where it's gonna stand out the most. We're gonna go with a bit of a layer on top. We're gonna just style it up, show you guys how to enhance the curls, and then we'll get into the fade. So let's get to it. Okay, step one, let's isolate the sides, and then we'll isolate the back as well. So it's very important to really understand the roundness of the head because that's how we're gonna be able to build the shape, and then we're gonna go into this layer and make sure that everything is blended properly. So step one, I really wanna isolate the crown. The crown is usually the area where you see the cowlick, you see the growth pattern sit in a way where it reacts negatively. So we wanna make sure, because this is a fade, we wanna section this off very properly. So when it comes to the cutting, it makes our job a lot easier. So main thing here is making sure we start with the crown. Step one, isolate this top panel, bring it down, bring that forward. Okay, that back panel is already done. From here, we're gonna go through the sides. We're gonna isolate this side panel over here all the way to the front, bring that down. So now we'll go back, we'll isolate this front panel, and there you have it. Section one, nice and clean. We don't even need clips. Allow the hair and the moisture of the water to really make this sit properly. So now we'll move on to the other side. Same process from the crown, boom, all the way towards the front. Bring that down. There you guys have it. Then isolate that small panel in here as well. Okay, from here, we'll bring it down. Come back from the top. And we'll section this off. Let's isolate this back panel. So we'll come all the way from here, we break it down, bring everything towards the back. So now what we've done is we've completely isolated the back panel with the front. And now we could go ahead and start really working with our graduation. So step one is, let me show you guys how to build graduation so the fade looks insanely good when it comes to the transition. So guys, step one, we're gonna layer this, and how we're gonna do this is using diagonal sections. Look at this on how I do it. Lift it all the way up, and we got to be finger tight because we are doing a burst fade. Okay, all the way around. Boom, that's section one. Section two. Okay, again, flat surface, we need to elevate. Check our guide, make our incision. Boom, beautiful. Okay, that's section one. Let's do the other side and we'll move on towards the back. Step one, diagonally, okay. Drop it down. See that little triangle? This is where we're gonna lift up, and we're gonna take really, really short. Again, we want to make sure we are round because, again, we are fading this. So we want seamless transition from the round shape leading up to the back, okay? And the reason for that is because we just want some transition that's going to move exactly like that. Cool, we finished both sides. Graduation on both sides is done. Now we have a connecting line, right? We have a connection point from both sides. We can make a decision based on what the lengths are. So what do we know with the burst fade? Well, the burst fade one is going around the ears, and it's gonna be faded this way. So we wanna make sure, even in this area, guys, that we're quite short. So we wanna be able to use that as a point of reference when it comes to cutting that. So we know the fact that this is gonna be short with clippers, so we gotta take this really short as well. But what's gonna change is as we get closer to the bottom or the middle of the bottom, we wanna make sure that we're over directing to preserve some of that length. And got maybe 1 or 2 more sections left. Bring it back to previous. There we go, okay? Now you're probably wondering, well, Alex, what do I do with this line? This line's still gonna be refined at the very end. So now let's move on with the other side and look at that. We have something that's blending a little bit better than previously because we have way too much length. So we'll go back down the other side and we'll use the same exact process. Okay, so section 1. Nice and tight. Guidelines from the sides. Section 2 now comes back into 1 because we need that length in the middle to be longer. Guideline. Section 3 back into 1. Again, same process. Make sure that line is nice and clean. And there you guys have it. We have more length down the middle now, but we also have a slight connection from the sides. Look at that, how clean that looks. Okay, we're gonna refine some of this line and then we'll go back into it down the middle. Step 3, we're not done. We've done the graduation on both sides. Let's refine some of this line. So there we have it. We have a bit of a guide and we're just gonna refine that right here. Beautiful, look how that sits, okay? And at this point, guys, look at this. We're gonna bring this horizontally and we have a connecting point, okay, from both sides. We're gonna lift this up, boom. I'm gonna connect this in. Section 2, again, using elevation. Again, we still want this middle point to be the longest part because that's where we're gonna have that texture that's gonna sit beautifully when it comes to the final product. Beautiful, look at that. Nice textured length. And we could always go back into it if we still feel like it's quite long, but to me, this is looking really, really nice. And maybe we could refine some of that line. But look at that shape. That shape already looks way, way better. We have the texture now, and that only took us about 5 to 10 minutes. Again, we're working efficiently because I want you guys to realize that this could be done in the salon in about 45 minutes, okay? So the fun part now, how do we blend this while maintaining a curly top? Now, the goal for me again is I want to maintain a lot of this. The truth is, when we look at it visually, how does that sit? When I looked at his hair, I actually really liked how it was sitting. So technically this doesn't need to be cut that much, but mostly refined. The goal here is to make sure that we have it sit round horizontally because we want this to be nice transition. We want the length on top to be a nice transition to the side. So we're gonna come and cut this horizontally. We're gonna use the sides as a reference point. So bring that forward, pick this up. Guidelines right here, and that's because of our graduation, and cut. See, guidelines in here, just refining a little bit of that length because we still need to maintain some of the curls. And the last section will just over direct slightly. Beautiful. Okay, same process on the other side. Again, section 1 from the back, straight off the base. Now we have a guide from the right side and we'll just connect that in. Again, everything we're doing here, guys, is very systemized, right? We started with the graduation. We finished both graduations on both left and right panel. We went with the back. We graduated some of the back. We went down the middle, cut the middle. We also refined the nape. And now we're using that as a leverage or a guideline to connect the top. So everything is simple, it's simplified. But again, it was all broken down from our consultation from the very beginning. There we go, we got the nice curls, our graduation through the sides. I don't even necessarily need to even look and cross-check to see if it's connected because we already connected it through the sides in the graduation, and because the hair is a little bit fine, we don't necessarily need to connect this. Looks really good already. We didn't even put any product. Let's go in our clipper work and really make this pop at the very end with our fade. Guys, funny enough, Alessandro asked me the question, what product should I use? So this is almost like a paste that's like a cream. It's a mix of both. Given the fact that Alessandro's hair is very, very dry, as he was mentioning, he needs something that almost has more of a creamy texture. So either he could go with a cream or he could go with something that's a little bit of both. Reason why I like this is because it has a hold. A cream will not have hold, but it'll give more of an impression of a wet look. But he needs that in between because his hair is also a little bit finer, where we need to make it look full and he needs to expand to give that look. So that's why I like this creamy based product. Okay guys, so now at this point, we're gonna go in with our number 4, and that's gonna allow us to really create the foundation for our fade. So we're gonna go in with our round shape first, all the way through the back. So step 1, leading up all the way to the graduation. Okay, so guys, at this point, step 2 is really creating our base for our skin line. So very much, we're gonna go with a round line that follows around the ear, and that goes all the way straight leading up to the front. Step 2, go back with our number 2. Number 2 will sit right underneath our 4. So at this point, guys, number 2 is done. We're gonna go in with our 1 open. 1 open is gonna sit right underneath our 2. 1 close is gonna sit right underneath our 1 open. 1 open back right underneath our 2, and then our 1 close. Okay, we go back with our open. And then we go back with our open to just clean this up. Okay, so at this point, we'll just clean up some of that corner here, which we preserved just so the lineup really stands out. Okay, and then now we'll just go and line this up. Okay, we're just gonna refine a little bit with our texturizing scissors to blend this a little bit better. Okay guys, so at this point, we've done the fade, looks clean enough. We're gonna go back to the other side, and then we'll go back and refine whatever's left. We're about 75% done with our fade. We just gotta clean a little bit more on the back side, but everything is looking nice and structured, and Alessandro's looking like a real model now. Okay, same process on the other side. Same process over the ear with our line, going all the way towards the front. Nothing changes here. Beautiful. So we did our skin line, and now we'll go back with our foils. Number 2 is set. Let's go back with our number 1. 1 open is gonna sit right underneath our 2. Number 1 close sits right underneath our 1 open. Again, we're using a descending method, guys, because we don't have that much space to fade this. This will allow me to stretch the fade and really be in control of it as well. Because if we put a guard skipping method, that means if I put a guideline in here, then I'm not allowing myself to really stretch it. And then what tends to happen is you end up having this really harsh line. But with the descending method, I have way more control of the actual fade. Okay, we keep going, guys. Outline all the way towards the front. Okay guys, so final shots here. Again, beautiful transition, but again, with his hair, it's missing a bit of that cream. So we're just gonna add some moisture, especially with the back. We really want this texture to come out while maintaining the mullet. And you're gonna see now how beautifully this transitions. And that cream is gonna just allow for a little bit more moisture, which is gonna allow for those curls to really come out. I'm just gonna show you guys what the final shape looks like. We're gonna refine a little bit more and then we'll get into our final shots. All right, guys, so this is my final look on Alessandro, and I really want to show you guys why this is so important when it comes to the graduation in the back, the sides, and those transitions. What you see here is a nice blend that transitions beautifully with some of that length through the back, a nice burst, especially because this is a modern look now. Everyone's asking for the burst fade, but with a bit of a twist with that curls sitting up top. So we have length on top while it being really tight through the sides, but also maintaining length through the back. We have multiple shapes, multiple lengths, and different textures within this haircut. So it's a combination of it all. And this is a perfect, beautiful, modern haircut in 2025. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll catch you guys on the next one.